Already, though, there's controversy because the tiny Gulf state itself produces more carbon dioxide per person than anywhere else in the world. Here's Tarek Basley.
Each year, billions of cubic metres of gas is pumped from Qatar's North Field, liquefied and then shipped abroad. It's the mainstay of the economy and the source of its extraordinary wealth. But Qatar's cheap natural gas is also used to generate electricity and desalinate water. Some of that water is used to green the desert, a daily soaking to keep grass and plants alive in summer temperatures that can top 50 degrees Celsius. Transforming Qatar's harsh natural environment into a green, lush garden like this is a gas-guzzling exercise. Qataris get free power and water, and it's highly subsidised for everyone else. As a result, people here are among the highest consumers of both electricity and water in the world. Qatar's small population, rapid growth and big carbon footprint means it's ranked as the world's worst carbon dioxide emitter by population, though it only contributes 0.25% of the world's emissions.
In most countries in the Middle East, energy is still incredibly cheap. That makes it pretty unattractive to actually use energy more efficiently. So clearly, one of the things that we need to see is movement on proper energy pricing.
At this year's climate talks, countries are being urged to sign up to binding cuts to their greenhouse gas emissions.
We are fully aware of the perils the world is facing as a result of climate change, and the UN Climate Change Conference will address the direct impact of climate change on food security. We hope the conference will produce tangible results and reinforce international cooperation.
Qatar has invested in green technologies like these experimental solar panels. It's also taken steps to reduce the practice of gas flaring or burning off excess gas. Along with desalination, flaring is a major contributor to its emissions.
And oil and gas industries tend to serve a population that is much larger than Qatar's own population because they're all export-driven, while their desalination water desalination processes are extremely important for Qatar, given that their own aquifers are almost depleted now.
Qatar wants to lead the world in investing in new green technology, but that's the easy bit. Chairing such a divisive and important climate change conference will be a more difficult and complex challenge. Tarek Basley, Al Jazeera, Doha.
Well, whatever the outcome of the talks, they're not likely to change the league table of the world's overall biggest polluters. China is at the top there, emitting more than 8 billion tonnes of greenhouse gases. That's a rise of 171% since 2000. The US comes in second, producing more than 5 billion tonnes, although its emissions have fallen since 2007. India's boom has made it the third worst polluter, pumping out nearly 2 billion tonnes of CO2. And then there's Russia, producing around 1.5 billion tonnes of emissions. And many of those who are suffering the effects of greenhouse gases aren't the citizens of those nations. Here's the view from some of those affected by climate change in Niger, Bangladesh and Nepal.
Donc, regardez cet espace par rapport à la désertification.
In the 60s, this entire space was green, from here all the way to the foot of those mountains. All of it was filled with nomads and life. There were forests and wild animals, birds and antelope. This is total desertification. Everything has been exterminated.
The weather experienced when I was a child and now is so different. There are stronger rainfalls. Sometimes there is no rainfall. The winter season is starting later than before. The rainy season starts later and is longer. Because of river erosion, a lot of people are losing their land. We get floods 2 or 3 times a year now.
Given that, majority of our people are subsistence farmers and they depend on a lot of monsoon, something like, there's a lot of weather dependent activities. So it's, I think, a question that's connected to the basic day-to-day survival of the people.
And do let us know what you think. You can share your opinions with us online. Go to aljazeera.com or you can tweet us using the hashtag AJECOP18.